Good morning and welcome to today's show. Now, I don't know about you, but the weather is absolutely beautiful here in the UK at the moment, and let's hope it continues because we are just fed up of the rain and the cold. So let's hope that continues now into the foreseeable future. So today I wanted to go through creating checkout pages on your WordPress website, because it is something that if you're starting online, you do need to be able to take payments. And there are just so many different ways of doing it, but some of them are quite costly. There's a monthly fee. And if you can build it yourself, then you could create it using WooCommerce, which is what I'm going to show you today. So let's get in today's show. Hi, my name is Jason Kruger, and I help heart-centered businesses build and automate their online marketing systems. So in today's show, I wanted to go through creating checkout pages using WooCommerce on your WordPress website. And the reason I wanted to go through this is because it's so versatile, and you can create, different products and services and then just sell them through these checkout pages. And even though I am using WooCommerce, it doesn't mean you need to create a whole massive online shop. And yes, I have created those for clients. We've got e-commerce sites selling reptile food and accessories, etc., coffee, cricket gear, all of those types of things. So it's quite varied. In if you wanted to create an e-commerce website, you would use WooCommerce as your kind of e-commerce engine for your website. But in today's kind of tutorial, what I'm actually going to do is show you how to use WooCommerce with a few other plugins to actually create bespoke checkout pages so that you can then sell services, and they don't have to go through a checkout process as you would normally do on an e-commerce website. You can just send them directly to the checkout page, they pay, and off you go. Now, there will be other integrations that you could add into this mix to add them to your autoresponder, etc. I'm not going to be covering that today. I will create other videos regarding setting that up, as well as actually going through and setting up WooCommerce itself. So please do watch out for that video. And if you want to get notified when those videos do get posted and you are on YouTube, then please look to subscribe to the channel and click on the notification bell so that you get notified when I next go live or when I next post a video. And throughout the tutorial, if there are any questions that you want answered, please just leave them in the chat or in the comments below, and I will make sure that I answer them for you. So let's get in today's tutorial. So we're now in one of my WordPress websites, and I actually am going to be setting this up as it's going to be something that I'm going to be using going forward for a lot of my products and services. So we're going to just set that up today. So this has already got some of the plugins installed. So the base that I use for all of my WordPress websites is, yes, it is WordPress. The theme that I use is the Astra theme, and I'm using the Pro version, so it gives me extra options. And I'm using the Beaver Builder page builder to build out the pages. Now, some of that you don't need, but I use that to help style my pages. Then I've got WooCommerce installed, and the Stripe gateway as well, so that I can connect it up to my Stripe account, and that's how I'm going to take my payments. Now, there are other plugins that I am using for this, and we'll just go to the plugins list so I can show you these. I have put a list of these in the description of this video, so if you do want to go and have a look at these plugins, then you can go and do that. So the checkout pages that I'm using or the plugin that I'm using to create those checkout pages is called AeroCheckout. Now, I have looked at all various different ways of doing this, and this one seemed to be the most versatile and the one that I needed for my needs and for client needs as well, because I have created these types of checkout pages for a client as well. And you can see they've got another plugin here called OrderBumps. So if you've ever gone to a checkout page and you're paying for the main item, sometimes they give you an extra little product at the bottom, which you can just tick, and that adds it to your checkout process. I've got Stripe for WooCommerce installed, and then I've got this WooFunnels funnel builder, which then allows me to create a bit more of a funnel for the products if I wanted to, but it also allows me to create a custom thank you page as well. So if you wanted to create a custom thank you page, rather than just going through and using the generic WooCommerce thank you page after someone has bought, you can use this to create a different thank you page, so that you could maybe embed a video on there and maybe take them to somewhere to book a call with you, for instance. So those are the plugins that I'm using. Now, I'm not going to go through setting up WooCommerce today. I will create a more in-depth video regarding how to set up WooCommerce and all the different aspects that you can use, because you can use these to kind of sell free products as well, so they can go through a checkout process, and there's so many other settings in there, so I will go through that in another video. What I want to do now is I want to just go to all products, because I do want to set this up. Now, I have already set up a product in here, which is my workshop that I have created for ActiveCampaign, and if you are interested in that, the link is in the description as well. But I'm going to be creating a new checkout process for that as well, and that's what we're actually going to be doing this morning. So I've created this new product, and I've put in the price, and it's been set up as a simple product because I just want them to pay for it, and then that's it. So I've got the price in there. I don't need anything to do with inventory because it's a digital product. Shipping as well. Attributes. So if I wanted to add extra attributes that people could choose, and this is what you would use if you're selling t-shirts or anything like that, where people can choose their size, the color, etc. So that's just setting up a quick product on there. And what I'm going to do is I am going to add a new one, because we are going to add an order bump, but I'm just going to do this order bump demo, and we're just going to set the price at $10. So this site is all set up in dollars. You know, I've done it that way because it's kind of the universal currency online. So a lot of my workshops and courses, etc., will be in dollars, but you can set this up in WooCommerce. If you're in the UK, you can set it up to just take pounds. So I'm just going to do this regular price, $10, and I'm just going to click on publish. Now for the fun bit, I want to create the checkout page for this. So I'm going to go into WooFunnels, and this has now come up because I've got them all installed, and you can see there's the funnels part of it here, and there's the checkouts. Now, before I do anything, I'm just going to show you the checkout part, and then we can explore the other two as well. So let's go to checkouts. And at the moment, I haven't got anything set up. So let's add a new one. And let's call this ActiveCampaign Without Trauma, which is my workshop name. And we're going to create this checkout. Now, if you are using another type of page builder, so if you're using Elementor or Divi, you can actually use this. This integrates directly into those, and you can then build those checkout pages using those. So if I'm just going to use the customizer, I can see the different previews they have for these. So there's so many different examples. And if I go to Elementor, you can see all of these as well. So these ones are kind of been built for Elementor, so you can go in there and make those changes. And the same with Divi. And then we can go to custom as well. And what I'm going to do, because I'm using Beaver Builder, I'm going to use custom, because I can then build out the pages, but the main part of the checkout page is going to be controlled via the WooFunnels plugin. So I can just go in here and choose the style that I want. And let's just choose this one here, and let's just preview it. So this is just a very simple checkout page. So we could choose that one, or let's go back to one of these and preview this one. And you can see just the different steps. And this is kind of a 3-step template. Or there's this one here. Which is just a 1-step, and you can see the different products in here. So we could choose either of these, and okay, let's just choose this first one. We're going to click on import. So that's at their starting point. And what they do give you here is the short code. So you could go and create your whole page using one of the other page builders. So if you're not using Divi, Elementor, etc., you could use Beaver Builder and all the other different types of page builders. Or if you're not using page builders and you're just using Gutenberg, blocks, etc., you could just use this short code to put this into one of those pages that you've created. So that's that. Products. Now we want to add a product to this checkout page. So we're just going to click on add product. And let's start typing. So there's my product, and I'm going to click on add. Now here you could add a discount if you wanted to in the quantity. So that's kind of in that checkout page already. But then they have other settings here as well. So you can restrict the buyer to select only one of the above products. So you could add multiple different products on there, and they can then just choose which one they want. Allow buyer to select any of the above products. So you could have multiple selections. Or force sell all of the products. So you could basically create a bundle and then force them that they can't change anything on that, and that's what they're going to pay for. So we're just going to say restrict buyer to select only one product. I'm just going to add that one in now, and I'm just going to click on save changes. And then I'm going to click on fields. And this is where you can customize the fields that you're going to have on that page. So you're going to have your normal one, so your email address, first name, last name, and then billing address, shipping address, and then phone number. So at the moment, it's going to have both of those address blocks on there. You could say, well, I'm not shipping anything. I'm not shipping anything. This is a digital product. So I'm just going to remove the shipping address from there. And then again, shipping method, don't need this. So let's delete that. Yes, I want to remove that section. And then your product. So this is going to show the details of the products on that checkout page. It's also then going to have the order summary as well, so that people can see what it is that they're buying. So you might need this products, especially if you are trying to put multiple products on that checkout page and allowing people to choose which one they want. You could just delete this if you're just going to sell one product, and then just have the order summary there. And then the payment gateways, you don't touch that. That's just going to integrate directly with whatever you are using to take payment. But you can go in here and add different sections to this as well. So in between it, if you wanted to add a testimonial right at the bottom or at the top of this, you could just add a section in here. But it's not something, excuse me. It's not something that I would use. If you are using a page builder to create these checkout pages, I wouldn't necessarily use this to build those parts of my page, because I can use a page builder to add those sections in. But if there's something for the product, etc., that you wanted to add in here, you could add a different section, and you can also add it in other fields as well. So I could add in a new field. So if you wanted to add in some extra information within the checkout page, within the checkout process, you could add in a new field in there and put that information in there as well. So I've now got the basis of my checkout page. I'm going to click on Save Changes, and I'm going to go to Optimizations. Now they do have various things that you can use in here to help the checkout process, so people don't stop going through the checkout process. And one of them is the Google address auto completion. So you can enable this, but you'll need to make sure that you've got it all set up correctly. So you could exclude countries if you wanted to. So I'm just going to keep that off. You can auto apply coupons or discount codes on there as well. So I could add in here, and I could just put in the discount code that I've created in here, and it will apply it to the checkout automatically. And you can also then disable that field if you wanted to. So smart buttons. So if you have got your Stripe account connected to Apple Pay, Google Pay, all of those, you can enable this so that they appear at the bottom of the page as well. And then you have your preferred countries. So this is where you could have the one so that it shows the preferred countries at the top of the page. So if you're in the States or if you're in the UK and most of your clients are going to be coming from there, you could set this so that those countries appear at the top. And then this is where it also gets more powerful. So you could have this expire after a certain number of orders, for instance. So if you're using this for a workshop or something, and you're only limiting it to, let's say, 15 people because it's an in-person event and you only want to keep it small, you could say, well, I'm only going to allow 15 people through the checkout process, and once it's closed, we're going to redirect them to this page to tell them that it is closed. So you could do that after the number of orders, or you could do it to close it after a specific date. So if you're doing a launch, for instance, and it's going to close at midnight on a certain date, you could go in here and set that as well. And pre-fill form for abandoned users. So you could put all of that in there as well. Autofill the state from if people are putting their postal code or zip code in there. So there's so many different things that you can do here to customize this checkout page, and it's so powerful. Now if I go to settings, this is where we can put in some other tracking and analytics in there, any other custom scripts or custom CSS to format the page as you wish. So that is now the checkout page basically complete. And if I click on view, it's going to take me to that checkout page. And here we go. It's all done for me. So I've got my order summary. It's showing the image. So if you wanted to, you could add an image to make this look much better. It's got where they're going to pay. As you can see, it's got the product in here. So you might not need this, because if you've got the order summary, you don't really need this other product unless you want them to be able to change the quantity, or as we said, if you're adding multiple products to this checkout page and you want them to choose which one they want, you could do that all here. So there's the checkout page. And as you can see, it's not the greatest looking checkout page. It's got everything we need on here. And this is where you can go, and if you've got a page builder, you can start changing the layout a bit. So I'm using Beaver Builder. So I'm going to just click on this Beaver Builder icon at the top, so that it's now going to be built using Beaver Builder. So as you can see, I've now got my page layout over here, and I can now go and change this if I wanted to. So let's say I wanted to have it as 2 columns, for instance, and I wanted this placed in here. So now that's where my information or the checkout process is. But I wanted to add in a testimonial in here and other information regarding that checkout. Then I could put that all in here, and I can style this as much as I want. So I could add in another column at the top here. So I can go and really change how I want this to look. Now, if I have a testimonial that I want to add in, and say the text testimonial, I could go in here, have that all in there, and it's going to appear above the checkout process. And using a page builder allows me to go in and completely change the look of this. So as you can see, because I can do all of this, I can format this how I wish. This page is a little bit more controlled via the plugin, but it's not bad looking. It has everything I need on there, and I can then add in all the other information that I want around that. And then I can click on done. And then I just have in the address bar here, I have the link. And that's the link that I will send all potential clients to, and that can then go through the checkout process. And once they go through the checkout process, they'll then just go to the normal WooCommerce thank you page at the end. Now, let's say we didn't want that, and we wanted to customize this so that we took them to a thank you page of our choosing. So let's go and do that. And that's where you would use the funnel plugin from WooFunnels to do this. So I'm going to go to funnels, and I'm going to add a new funnel. And then I can go and choose how I'm going to do this. So as you can see, these are all kind of sales pages that you can use, and that's from Elementor, and the same with Divi. These are all kind of built templates that you can use. But because I've got my own page builder here, I'm just going to click on custom, and I'm going to say create my own funnel. And what I can now do is build the steps into this. So let's click on add new step, and let's say this is a sales page. So I've got my demo sales page. I'm going to click on create. So that's created. I also now want to create the checkout page. But what I can do is, if I already have this checkout page created before, I can just go and click on clone from another checkout page. So if I do that and start typing it in, you can see my ActiveCampaign without trauma one is coming up. I'm going to click on that and click on create. So I now have my sales page, I have my checkout page, but I can also now click on add another step and click on thank you page and click on create. Now I have this whole funnel set up. Now if I click on view, it's just going to be a blank page, but because I have Beaver Builder installed, I can just click on Beaver Builder here at the top, and I can build out my sales page. Once I'm done with that, just click on publish, And all I need to do is make sure that when I put a button on this sales page to go to the checkout, that I just make sure that I send them to this page. So if I click on view, as you can see, this is a copy of the ActiveCampaign without trauma checkout page that we've just created. The URL is going to be different at the top. So I can then make sure that I've got that URL. And when I'm creating the funnels and sending someone from the sales page to the checkout page, I can then just make sure that they are linked. And then because I have this thank you page as well, I can go and click on view. It's going to be a blank page. I can go in here, change the thank you page how I want, and make sure that it is all linked. So when someone then goes from this checkout page, they will then be taken to this thank you page automatically. Now, as you can see, I don't have any bumps on here, and it's telling me that I've got no bumps. So I could go and add that. So if I just click on add a bump, and let's call this demo bump and create. So that has now been created, and I can go in here and edit this. And we need to add a product to this. So let's search, because I think we did create a test one. So OrderBump demo, there we go. Add product. Save that. Now, as you can see, they have different things on here. So we can have rules as well. So let's add a rule. So we have it so it's always going to be on there, but we could say that if they have a certain item in the cart or it's a certain total, that's when we want this order bump to be displayed, etc. So there's so many different rules you can set up here, and it's really, really powerful. So you could have different order bumps appear depending on what's in their cart, for instance. We can go to the design, and you have these designs that we can choose from. We want to change the skin to this one. You can then go to the content, and we can then change this. So let's say demo order bump, but this is where you would write the information regarding your order bump. And then you can also make sure that you've got an image for that order bump, or if you don't want that, you just hit this little toggle here at the bottom and it switches that off. We can then go into the styling again and just change some of this, so you can make sure that it stands out on the page. Maybe you want to use some of your brand colors. You can do all of that in here as well. Then we're going to click on save. Just check on the settings. And you can have all the different positions. So we're just going to have this, that it's going to be below the payment gateway, below the order summary. You can put it anywhere. So normally it's below the payment gateway. So we're just going to leave that there, and click on save settings. So that order bump is now there. So if we go to the checkout page, let's just see if this has worked. So it's not there at the moment. So let's just see why that is. So we've got all of that there. We don't need, well, maybe we do. So we're going to have that as always. So that's there. No, let's just refresh. Maybe we need to add this into the. Okay, so that's there. Let's go back to the funnel. We've got the bump there, so let's just edit this and see why it's not there's no settings in here. So let's just refresh this again. It might just be, there we go. I just had to make sure that it was properly refreshed. So there we go. The order bump has just appeared automatically. So if someone wanted that, we can then click yes, want that, and that's now added it. And you can see it's now added it to my order summary as well. So maybe you want to add this, and you can, as it said, you could add this above the order summary if you want as well. So that's how you add the order bumps to your checkout page. And if we go to order bumps now, done on this menu, there's none there because we haven't set any order bumps just for normal checkout pages. We've done it in the funnel, so it's not going to appear here. So we could just go in here and add those new order bumps and create as many as we want and have those different rules for it to appear on those pages. So that is how you go and you create the checkout pages for your business. Now, as I said at the beginning, you might want to go through this whole process to create checkout pages for your business, because you might not want to spend the monthly fees on the systems like Samcart or Thrivecart, which at the moment you have to buy it as a whole year package. And with this, you get a lot more customization. And as I said, I've done this for some other clients, and we have it so it is set up so that when someone goes through it, it actually does put the information into Xero for them, as well as putting the information into their ActiveCampaign account, so that it tags people in there so that we know what they've bought, etc. It fires off any other email automations that we might have, welcoming them to the workshop, to the service, the product, whatever it is. So there's so much more customization that you can do on here, whereas other systems like Samcart don't necessarily have those integrations either. And depending on what it is and your use case that you want to do, this is probably going to be a very good option for you. Yes, there's a bit more setup when you're starting out to get this all set up, because you do need to have a WordPress website and you need to get the plugins as well. Now, WooCommerce is free, and you can just use that. But if you want to create these other checkout pages, then you do need to go and buy the other plugins. Now let's go to those plugins again. So I'll share my screen again. So we're just going to go to the plugins page, and we're going to go to the WooFunnels page. So as you can see, they have a whole sales funnel system that you can buy and go through. So the ones that I've used on here, if I go to products, is I've just done the optimized checkout pages. So I have all of that on here, and this is the plugin that we've just used to create all of those checkout pages. And as you can see, it's optimized for mobile as well. And when you buy this plugin, they do give you the order bump plugin as well, so that you can create the order bumps. And you can see all of the different things that you can do on here. Now, if you're just starting out and you just need it for yourself, then, you know, the starter one is $99 per year. And as you can see all the different options that you do get with it. But if you want to have the order bumps as well, then it's worth upgrading to the growth plan and having the order bumps on there, and that's $129 per year. Now, this is $129 per year. You go for something like Samcart, and for a lot of those features on there, it's $99 per month. So this is a great option to go and buy this plugin and create your checkout pages. And you can create as many different products as you want. If you want to create subscription products, you can do that as well. Unfortunately, if you do want to create subscriptions, that is another plugin, and you'll need to just Google that, because there are different subscription plugins that you can use for WooCommerce. There's ones that are created by WooCommerce themselves, but that is quite an expensive plugin. But there are other subscription plugins out there that are a lot cheaper and work just as well. So do Google that. But doing it this way in the long run is going to save you a lot of money, because you don't have to have those monthly subscriptions for a system like Samcart, which is a great system. And yes, you can just subscribe to it and get up and running really, really quickly. Whereas with this system, you do need to spend a bit of time to build out those checkout pages and brand it the way that you want it. And the way that I've set it up for myself and for my other clients is that we have this on a separate WordPress installation to their main site, so that we keep it separate just in case we need to make changes to the main website. It's not going to be affected. The checkout pages aren't going to be affected, and we can make sure that that's all secured, it's all separate, and it's not causing any issues on the main site. But if you can't do that and you have to install it on your main site, you can do that as well. There's no issues in doing that. So I hope that going through this way of creating checkout pages for your online business will help you going forward to create these pages. And as I said, yes, in the long run, it's going to save you a ton of money. Initially, there's a bit more setup work to get it all working for you. But once you do have that, it's a lot more customizable. As I said, we send the data to Xero, so it creates all the invoices, etc. in Xero for my client. We also then send information to ActiveCampaign as well. And yes, you can do that on Samcart, but the one thing you can't do probably easily, if at all, is sending information to Xero. Yes, you could use a system like Zapier, but you'll have to set that up, and again, it's another monthly fee. But with these, you can create so much more on there. So this is the way that I would preferably go if you can to create those checkout pages. And if you do have any questions regarding anything that I've covered today, please leave a comment down below, and I will make sure that I answer them for you. And if you want to get notified when I next post a video or when I next go live, then please look to subscribe to the channel and click on the notification bell so that you get notified when I do that. So I hope you've enjoyed that today. And if you have any questions, please let me know. I will be glad to answer them for you, or even create a new video. And there will definitely be more videos in this series on how to set up WooCommerce for your business. So have a great week, and I'll see you on the next one.